Good morning, brother and sister. Doug White down here in Alabama. How's everybody doing? Rainy day out there today. So I thought I'd come in here and talk to my phone. I want to talk today about something I've been noticing. These prophets and apostles, supposed modern day prophets and apostles, and my view on the matter. I don't know how everybody out there believes, but I believe now, in my view, I know the office of the apostle is in our past, because he laid upon the foundation of the apostles. So that foundation has already been laid, brothers and sisters. To be an apostle, or you have to be an eyewitness to the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So that was one of the requirements. I don't believe any of us meet that requirement. Also, they had to work miracles, and they worked miracles. To be an apostle, let's see, what's the other requirement? Well, that's enough to give you right now. In my view, there's no more apostles than prophets, you know. Like I say, it was laid upon the foundation. God laid it. There's no more apostles. There's no more apostles. You're not an eyewitness to the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So that you can't claim that. Besides, I think that we're not supposed to think more highly of ourselves than we ought to. And people out there, they, it seems like they want this title. Jesus warned against that, wanting to be called, addressed with all these high and mighty titles. It's vanity, in my view, down in Alabama. And they're saying, well, I'm a prophet, Well, I might not be an apostle, but I'm a prophet, Well, in my experience, I'm just going to tell you my experience. I don't believe there's any more prophets. Not that God can't talk to his people through the Holy Spirit. As many as are led by apostles and prophets? No, that ain't what it said. As many as are led by his Spirit, brothers and sisters. Those are the sons of God, sons and daughters of God. The ones that are led by his Spirit. That all that came through our little town too, down here in Alabama. People telling you, God told me to tell you this, and everybody was going around telling everybody, fortune telling. That's what it ended up being. Fortune telling in amongst God's people. Everybody going around fortune telling. And really it turned into witchcraft before it was over. Well, it's not over yet, it's still going on. But that went on through our little town. We've seen it. I've been there and done that, know all about it. A prophet should be 100% correct all the time, or they'd be stoned in the Old Testament, or they'd be killed in the Old Testament. So it's this. All this is hit and miss, or I'll give you a fortune and give me time to get out of town before, so I don't know whether it comes true or not. They forget about it. It didn't come true. One I'm told, well, it can't be this general thing like some of them do it on television. There's somebody out there in TV land that has this problem or this or that, Or God told me to tell you that you're going to have a baby girl. Well, that's, and then you don't have the baby girl. Somebody else has the baby girl. Stuff like that, But just wanted to put that out there this morning. There's lots of people out there saying, well, we believe this is going to happen. That's going to happen. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. I'll tell you the truth, I don't know what's going to happen. I've come to the point, I live day to day, and whatever happens, happens. That's the best way to be free. But a lot of people are basing their videos on, and what's fixing to happen, this fixing to happen is on what some prophet told them. I don't want to address everything in this video, but I'm just going to take on the prophets and the apostles. I don't believe, in my view, that there are any apostles And we can, you know, we can tell what we think God is showing us uh, in our spirit, you know, share with people. But I don't believe in this fortune telling the future. Well, this is going to happen to you tomorrow. This is going to happen to you. I don't believe that. That genders to fear, brothers and sisters. That amounts to fear in the end. And I remember this, you know. Yeah, I'll tell you what happened. I guess I can say this now because my mother's gone on to be with Jesus. This faith people came through town, and they had them all saying, well, if you couldn't say this, you can't tell nobody you got a cold, or you can't tell nobody, you know, this positive confession came through. And they had us where we couldn't even, if we had anything wrong with us, we sure wasn't going to tell nobody because that wasn't faith, you know. But I got to thinking, I saw on this show one time on TV, there was this community of people that lived way across the sea. They wasn't even Christian, didn't believe in Jesus, but they lived to be 190-something years old. All of them was not, a little baby in the town was 90 years old. The rest of them was over 100 over there in some Asian country. I won't say which one. They didn't know anything about this so-called faith movement, you know. But they was living to be over 100. So how's that? How's that happen, brothers and sisters? They wasn't confessing. But anyway, they had us where the people, the family was turning against family, and friends would, if they didn't have the right confession, a friend would stay away from them, you know, because, oh, that's not a positive confession, you know. Of course, the ones that had the positive confession, they got sick and died, you know, before the ones that didn't know anything about the positive confession, is what I'm saying. Just throwing out some things that I don't believe to be true, brothers and sisters, this morning. The prophets that on here on these things, anytime you hear somebody on a video say, well, I'm believing this is going to happen because I heard a prophet say it, you know. And of course, you know, it's hit and miss, and it don't happen. And then they'll move a goalpost or get out of town or change the subject, you know. So I hope I don't do that on my little channel. Brother and sister, you believe what the Holy Spirit tells you to and I tell you what, even being led by the Spirit, it's an exercise. It's you have to exercise hearing the Holy Spirit, because there's you know, the old devil's going to whisper in your ear too. And the flesh is going to whisper in your ear. The world's going to whisper in your ear. But the Holy Spirit leads you. When he's leading you into all truth. So, but like I said, the prophets in the Old Testament, you had to get it 100% right. These people nowadays, in my view, are just bumping their gums, or it's an exercise in vanity. Not saying all of them, not saying they're not children, all of them ain't children of God, although I think some of them are wolves in sheep's clothing. But that's a vanity of vanity. All is vanity, brothers and sisters. That's just my experience. You can take it or leave it. I wouldn't pay any attention to somebody coming and telling me, God told me to tell you this. Because I've been there and done that. I've been around it, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Again, well, I was sitting there one day pondering the matter, and this program came on. It was these, like you say, the 100-year-old community, and they weren't Christian. They didn't believe in Jesus, supposedly, and you know, I don't know that everybody's heart, but the whole community. Well, again, I say we're led by His Spirit, not by the apostles and prophets. It's a personal thing now, brothers and sisters. Don't need some apostle and prophet to tell you what's going on or what to do. When you hear that, the red flags ought to go up on your hat there. And turn this guy off, because, you know, or either take it with a grain of salt. You know, I listen to him too, just for the heck of it. Anyway, somebody want to come and give you some good advice? That's what I try to do on my little video. Advice is just it's not a binding thing. It's like this prophet thing, you know, where God told me this, you know. God told me that, you know. And so it scare you to death. And God told you that, you know. But to me, it's modern day witchcraft or voodoo, you know, fortune telling amongst God's people. So don't pay them any mind, in my view. Down in Alabama, I might give you some advice on my channel. Be led by the Holy Spirit. And if it don't set right for you, you turn, you know, even turn what I say off. See what I'm saying? Don't listen to me, because I'm just a fallible man down here in Alabama. I mean, I started this little channel up for my grandkids and the kids to tune in if they want to when they get in phones now. And I ain't got time to sit them down. They're always busy, so I just they can tune in at their leisure and see what I got to say on something. Don't pay the apostles and prophets any mind. It's all vanity, brother and sister. And that's on man's view down here in Alabama. Like I say, they'll give these general things. You know, somebody out there in TV land's got this wrong with them. Golly, how hard is that? Or somebody in that audience. But like I say, a prophet in the Old Testament, it was death if you didn't get it right. No, in my view, the apostle, they laid the foundation for that. And when you lay a foundation, you go on to the next thing. I believe that God has preachers, I guess. Preacher, the God got preacher. God called preachers. Lots of them just, you know, up and went. A God called preacher, he calls, he teaches them, he sends them. They taught of God, but some of them just up and went, in my view. Okay, the eyewitness, we go over everything. Apostle had to be an eyewitness. That's what when they gathered together to pick another one, they said, we want to take one among us that was with us. That saw the resurrection of Jesus. But anyway, that's my little thing. I probably forgot stuff. I'll put it in the comment section if anything. I always have left something out. But from my experience, all this is it's nothing but confusion when these people take it on themselves to call themselves a prophet. I call myself, hopefully, of the least of the brethren, the very least, because, anyway, just want to get up there and bring this to God's people out there. Don't listen to them. I've been listening to them on the internet. They've been up so you'll hear them talking and say, well, this is going to happen in politics or something, you know. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. And then they'll say, I'm sure of it because a prophet told me. One of the prophets I really trusted. Then I say, oh, no. Sometime I'll send a video to somebody because they'll say a lot of truth right up front. And you'll want them to hear the truth. And then you'll hear later on that they believe in some moon landing. They had they were kooks because they believe they come from Martians and all this other stuff, you know. But anyway. Just want to get back and talk to the handful of people that tune in my little video. And I want to say one thing. Peace and love from this old boy down here in Alabama.